This is the Randi Rhodes Show.
It is.
To speak with Randi, dial 561-270-3844. That's 561-270-3844.
All right, 48 after by a stinking podcast. Thank you very much. All right, the great Jesse the Body Ventura is on our phone line. Hello, Jesse the Body.
Hi, Randy, but I prefer to be referred to as Governor Jesse Ventura.
Ah, yes, Governor. May I serve you?
Thank you. No, I always like to do that because it irritates the Democrats and Republicans to no end because I beat them both. But anyway, Randy, I wanted to give a shout-out to you today on the death of a man who stood for peace his whole life. We lost a guy who is as anti-war as you can get. He helped end the Vietnam War in his own way. I, as a Vietnam veteran, owe him a debt of thanks for ending that war, and that is the great Bill Walton, NBA Hall of Famer, who passed away from cancer, and I can tell you that he was a friend.
Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. I really am. And I know he was a great American. I know that he, was very, very, very much involved in the ending of the Vietnam War. I know he, where did he go to school? Was he UCLA?
Yeah, he won 88 straight games at UCLA under the great John Wooden.
Yeah. And
then I met him in 1977 when I wrestled up in Portland, Oregon. He was then playing for the Portland Trail Blazers.
Gotcha.
And I had the opportunity to meet him, and he's one of the people, as you go through life, you look back on and say how lucky I was that I had a chance to cross his path.
I'll say that about you.
What's that?
I will say that about you.
Well, thank you, but for whatever. But like I said, my heart's breaking today.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I really am. He obviously, Dave Zirin wrote a beautiful thing about him. The Nation magazine wrote a wonderful thing about him. There's so many homages to his activism and his play, that demands that, you take a minute and say, we lost a great one today. So.
Well, I said, we lost, and why do we lose all the anti-war people?
I think it has a lot to do with, denial of what the retaliation is for in this particular instance. The rush to judgment, as they say, about what needed to be addressed after a terrorist attack was so controlled by social media, and it was so controlled by people who don't wish us well, that the people who are anti-war like me actually said, whoa, wait a minute. So somebody gets to, kill 1,200 people on a sunny morning and rape a bunch of girls, and there's nothing that you should do about it? And they were like, that's right. That's right, because they deserved it. And it was a big turnoff. And it stopped the conversation dead in its tracks. And no one was able to talk.
Anyway, again, my thanks will always be for Bill Walton, because he helped end a war that saved my life, probably. I'm a Vietnam veteran.
I know.
And kind of interesting that I would feel that strongly about someone who opposed a war that I volunteered for.
Yeah, I hear that. I get that, because I volunteered too. Thank God it was peacetime, but I know what that is. And so to have somebody actually helping you not do more of this bad thing that you are sworn to do is a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing. And that you appreciated it, and you didn't resent it, and that you understood him, and that you understood John Kerry, and you understood, other people who said, how do you ask somebody to be the last man to die, kind of stuff, that you appreciated it and didn't get angry at their valiant effort to draw attention to what was ridiculous.
And don't forget Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, Randy, have a great best of the holiday weekend.
Thanks,
or whatever.
Jesse. Thank you.
And I'll keep watching.
I keep on visiting your bakery. I want to make the butter. That's all I'll say.
Hey, sometime, Randy, you should have me on. I can tell you about my meeting with Bobby Kennedy.
Oh, so yeah, what in the world? I shouted out to you when RFK Jr. was talking about making some sort of a pass at you, let's say, and trying to seduce you into being his running mate. And I didn't know if you were listening that day, but I said, Jesse, don't do it because they're going to use you and abuse you. You're too pure, to be part of this. And then I saw you on CNN. You look good, by the way. And I appreciated what you said about your wife and why you're involved in this bakery, etc. But what did you want to add?
Well, the thing is about the situation with Bobby, I felt was this. Bobby and I differ certainly on issues a great deal, but the big issue to me is the fact that we have such a dysfunctional Congress right now who thinks they're in charge. And this would have been an opportunity for the people to rise up and say, wait a minute, we're still the boss. And we're going to prove it by sending 2 independents there to hover over you people and get you back in line. Because Randy, I know how to Democrats and Republicans.
So you and he did meet, right?
Oh yeah, we met for 2, almost 3 hours.
And what was the divide? Why no? Why was it a no for you?
It wasn't necessarily a no. He never officially asked, and he chose the woman.
Gotcha. I don't even think they talked to each other.
He never officially offered it to me. I was just a finalist.
Gotcha.
He wanted to talk to me.
You're so honest.
And we've known each other.
Yeah.
Bobby and I have known each other.
I know him too.
I took his son Connor diving down in Mexico. He wanted to dive with a frogman.
Oh, right. That's right. No, I know him because we worked together at Air America. So, he worked with Mike Papantonio. He had that Ring of Fire show. So I knew him when he was an environmental lawyer. I mean, that's what his thing was. I met his children too. And I remember the first time I ever met him, he had a little box. And in the box was a wounded bird. I think it was a robin that he had found, and he made a little nest out of, like shavings of newspaper. He shredded a newspaper and put it in there. And, that's the first, hello, how are you doing? I'm Robert Kennedy Jr. And I was starstruck. I really was. I was like, emotional about it. And then, I don't know, it just turned out that he wanted to be in a silo, let's just put it that way, and didn't really want to have anything to do with anybody else that worked there. And so that's the way he sort of navigated it. But what are you going to do?
I don't know any of that.
I know.
Like I said, I've just known Bobby for 20-some years, and I was honored that he considered me, a finalist and did meet with me.
Yeah.
And, and all that. And I continue to wish him very well.
I do too. I mean, his family does. I do. We all do. We all want to see good things for good people. And deep down, I think he's a good person. It's just the conspiracy theories are a little much for me.
By the way, Randy, weren't you motivated beyond belief by Donald Trump's great thing for Memorial Day?
I couldn't believe it, Jesse. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Now, the weird thing is that RFK Jr. also did one of the things that Donald Trump did this weekend. They both were at that Libertarian convention, and neither of them prevailed. So they picked a no-name guy, but they both went there, they both pitched, and they both lost. So.
Yeah, but what gets me is the Memorial Day thing, what Trump said about it, all him.
About the scum, about going after the judges, that portion of
it?
Yeah, it was gross.
And the fact that here you got a draft-dodging coward, and he's trying to turn Memorial Day into a day to look at him.
John Kelly actually said he really did call the people in the French, World War II cemetery suckers and losers. And when John Kelly took him to his own son's grave, Donald Trump said, I don't get it. I don't get it. What's in it for them? Why would they do this? They're suckers. They're losers. Why would they do this? And then he's going to talk like, Happy Memorial Day to all Americans and to the scum. Like, what?
What amazes me, Randy, is this country truly going to reelect him?
No, Jesse, I don't believe so. But if I'm wrong, I will come to Minnesota and I will make the butter, is what I'll do for the bakery girls. I will do it.
Well, you know what it'll end up for me? I have a friend I met in Mexico, Dr. Sid. He and his wife, they're from Canada. He told me I have a standing invitation anytime I want to get out of the U.S. My wife and they'll sponsor us up in Canada.
You're so lucky. I would love to move to Canada. I will be so jealous if you move to Canada. You'll have to sponsor me and Howard. You will. You'll have to.
Anyway, I'll let you get back to your show, Randy. Keep up the great work. I'll keep watching.
Thanks, Governor. Appreciate you very
Bye-bye.
much. Bye-bye. Governor Jesse, the body.
I
hunter.
addressed him properly on the
I
phone.
did not. I did not.
I turned into a fan in 2 seconds on the phone with him. It's ridiculous.
You know, he's so honest. You know, his politics, my politics, they may meet along the road, you know, for a few issues, which is really healthy and good. Shouldn't agree on everything all the time. But every time I talk to him, I find him so completely honest. Oh, like, he could have bragged. I would never have known what happened in that meeting with RFK Jr., but he didn't. He said he never officially invited me, but we did sit and talk. I love that about him, really. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.